they used to be like, you're gonna get, you're gonna get rejected heaps, and then you're gonna get, But I always put myself out there. I always believed God had a woman for me, and I used to go to the beach, and I used to go to church, mainly church and just school. But school was basically called high school. But when they had the sports days and the sports games, and on Saturday and that, and often girls would come across. Sometimes they didn't, but the Tastings Girls High School. Anyway, it's all good. So healing, because I've actually had people from my past tell me that I'm an alpha male and this because they've told me some of their issues. That's why, for me, it's but for me, it doesn't bring healing. What brings healing is meeting the needs that weren't met. Also, it's there's also that aspect of proving others wrong, but that has gone right down. But it's still there, but it's like 10 is just a number, but I don't know if it'd be 10, but let's say proving things to other people would be like at 4th or 5th place. The first 3 would be to bring closure to myself by meeting those needs and achieving the things that I wasn't supposed to be able to achieve. Or those want to, because you might be good at this, but there's nobody else likes this, nobody else likes that, blah blah. So it's that, as well as proving things to, bring closure, prove things to myself, which I don't have much more to prove now, but I still got some things to prove. That, or I know it's going to happen, but I want to see it in physical reality to earn double the amount the average person, maintain that, and once you get to your 40s, they usually start plateauing. Not plateauing as in like not putting in the hard work, but like, see, when it comes to gym and other things like that, I used to look at what the average person used to do and then I'd be like, okay, well, we're going to aim for double, and I was always getting like double what the average person can do. Now I don't even look at it, barely ever. Well, sometimes. But here's a funny question. That's funny because it shows you where I was at. About a year ago, was it a year ago or whatever, a couple of years ago, they were like, hey, I was like, okay, sorry. I was searching up, can the average person do 100 push-ups? And it turns out, like, what was it? Google said that 50% of, it said Americans, but I'm a New Zealander, but it said like 50% of Americans could do 10, 20 push-ups. That was me asking the question, can your average person do 100 push-ups? Because the 220 push-ups that I do it's a part of my push-up routine, which is 1 set of 12 Superman raises. You lift this up, you keep your head down, you're like Superman, and your legs go up. I count, and my legs slowly going up. I count in my arms. I go 1, 2, 3, and then sometimes I say it, sometimes it's in my mind, just depending on how much energy I have. And then I hold it for 3 seconds, like hold my breath, because I hold it in for 3. Now I breathe in for 3, because it's going up, and then I hold it for 3 seconds as I'm staying in that position. 1, 2, 3, and then I go breathing out. Go once, set of 12 of that, 20 star jumps. No, I've switched it up. Switched it up a few months ago. So one set of that, 220 mini push-ups. You only push up halfway. So it's the same as doing like 110. And then I'll jump up and do 40 star jumps. Second set of Superman raises. 2 minutes plank. Another 40 star jumps. Another set of Superman raises. And then another 20 star jumps. And obviously stretch up, stretch down. What did I get on there for? Oh yeah, it just brings closure. Because, from my opinion, the average person, they like, okay, well, all our needs are being met, we're happy with this and that, it's cool. And for me, it's like, yeah, I'd love to be like that, but at the same time, of all that stuff I said beforehand, so the level of anxiety, depression, anger went from like up here to like, let's say, here, and then went down to like here, and then I held those 2-3 year jobs, and it went down to here, and then now it's a matter of getting it down to here by earning, and because I know it's going to happen, I'm happy. And yeah, I mean, if a woman, yeah, we will be very hard for a woman in her early 30s to not have to not have like a laundry list of sexual partners and still have no children if she's in her early 30s. But it's doable. It's doable if they're in their mid to late 20s, but they would have had some sexual partners. Hopefully it's not too much. It's just I had an uncle that I respected, and he raised a couple of my cousins, and I didn't see one of them for like 16 years because of just, we moved. And then the thing is I didn't have a phone when we moved, or an email, or a Facebook or anything. No social media, no email, no phone. So yeah, it's a lot of statistics that when you raise someone else's child, they don't have as much respect for you as if you were the actual biological father. There's some who do, but I just heard her say some pretty nasty things. I thought, man, I wouldn't want to have that happen and say. And if I raised, because my auntie had some kids before she got with this man. So yeah, that's why, But I just don't want to portray my younger self. But myself at this age is like, well, I'm 37, okay, and I've had 3 girlfriends. 3 or 4. I've had sex with 3 women. Okay, one was a one night stand. Another one was, 2 of them were one night stands, and one of them was in a committed relationship that lasted for like 6-9 months with Mary. And ain't that funny? My great great grandmother, her name was Mary Taya, and then yeah, that's funny. I thought, but I hooked up with a Cook Island girl called Mary. And my great great grandmother, who's Maori, not Cook Island, she's, well, again, whether it's her, I mean, you know what I mean, it doesn't really matter, but whether it's her or a familiar spirit that was guiding me and helping me make good choices. That's another thing that's different from the Bible. They say, oh, don't see, familiar spirits. I've never been to a medium though.